All right, I call to order the city council meeting on this February 22nd, 12th, February 12th, 2025 is 5:32. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Baskin.
Present.
Councilman Leon.
Here.
Councilwoman Powell.
Present.
Councilwoman Julian.
Here.
Councilwoman Wilson.
Here.
Vice Chair Stevens.
Here.
Mayor Harris.
I'm present.
You have a quorum.
Please stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance.
God our Father, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy. It's in this moment, God, we acknowledge your presence. We pray that you continue to bless the residents of this great city that we call the city of Miami Gardens. I pray that you bless my colleagues and I with your wisdom, your knowledge, and your understanding. In all things, we promise that you would get all the glory. And God, we ask all these blessings in your son's name. I do pray. Amen.
Amen.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're on approval of the minutes. We have the minutes in front of us. I need a motion to accept the minutes.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none. Show the minutes approved. We're on order of business. Are there any items that need to be added, deleted, withdrawn?
I have a discussion item. Is this the time for that? I'd like to add a discussion item. Okay. Yes, Mayor, I'd like to add a discussion item.
Okay, we put it on for,
Mr. Mayor, we could put the discussion item as 13.1 of the resolutions.
all right. Need a motion on the agenda?
Motion. It's second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor of adopting the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none, show the agenda accepted.
All right, there are no special presentations. We're now on to public comments.
All right, we're on public comments. I have several public comment cards. You have any written communication, Mr. Clerk?
Mr. Mayor, the city clerk's office did receive written communication. Every communication has been forwarded to the mayor and council. The written communication will be added to the minutes as an exhibit.
Thank you. The first person up will be Miss Linda Pearl Filzami. And then Miss Gail Cunningham will be after her.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening, Mayor, council members. I'm coming to make a public comment because I'm producing a Black History Month event. Is it okay?
Excuse me. Could you please,
excuse
for the
me.
record, make your address known?
Yes, I am 15420 Northwest 28th Court.
All right, thank you.
Yes, and I would like to talk about a Black History Month event that I am producing. Can I do that in public comments?
Go ahead.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. So right here at Miami-Dade North, I'll be producing Miami Noir, which is a Black History Month event that celebrates fashion, history, and culture of Black Miami. We're going to have a fashion show where we're featuring Black designers, African Couleur, Saklakai, as well as Adelaide Resort Wear. We're also going to have an amazing panel of speakers, a dynamic panel of speakers where we will have Desiree Williams. She's a 20-year veteran in radio. We're also going to have Marvin Jean-Louis. He is actually one of the founding members of the Zopound, and a plethora of other amazing speakers. And then we are going to end with performances from our local community. So I'd like to invite everyone in Miami Gardens. It's happening right here in your city. And it is February 21st, Friday, February 21st at 4 p.m. from 4 p.m. to 5:30. And you can go to ladynamepearl.com/events to RSVP. It's a free event for the community, and I'd love to see everyone there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Mr. Clerk, I forgot to read the back of this card, please.
Okay, one second, Mr. Mayor. All right, any member who wishes to, citizen participation is governed by Section 2-60 of the City of Miami Gardens Code. Public comments are limited to matters within the scope of the jurisdiction of the City Council. Each person other than members of the city staff who address the City Council shall give their name, address, and whether the person is speaking on his or her behalf, or on a group of persons or a third party. When in the determination of the presiding officer, there are many persons wishing to speak on the same proposition, the presiding officer may direct these persons to designate a representative to address the City Council rather than all members of such groups. All speakers shall be limited to 2 minutes unless further time is given by the presiding officer. All remarks shall be addressed to the City Council as a body and not to any one member. No person other than City Council members and a person having the floor shall be permitted to enter any discussion without the permission of the presiding officer. No question shall be asked of the City Council member except through the presiding officer. Order shall be maintained if any person makes personally relevant, impertinent, or slanderous remarks become boisterous while addressing the City Council, or becomes too lengthy, abusive, obscene, and/or disruptive, or otherwise fails to comply with the orders of the presiding officer and is declared out of order, the individual may be subject to removal by the Sergeant at Arms.
Thank you. Good evening, publicly elected, public servants, stewards of our city's tax dollars, council members. I am Gail Olivia Cunningham, who resides at 19001 Northwest 14th Avenue Road, 33169, in our uniquely diverse city of Miami Gardens. Mayor, council members, your representation of me as a resident, your constituent, I hold in high regard with respect to you and to the office you represent. I want to thank you, Mayor and Council, for actively listening, assisting, educating, knowing we will not always agree or to the end result may differ, but respect of each other's person as human beings and making sure the words used are not fork-tongued or of ill intent to the constituents, your neighbors. That being said, I agree with the language which is presently in our city charter reference the terms of office for mayor and council persons. It should not be moved forward to the voters to possibly amend the charter by their vote after a request by the council to Miami-Dade Elections Department for a special election, mail-in election, etc., or during a scheduled election to have a vote by the people. The charter language should remain as is. The Myrtle Grove Park in the Myrtle Grove community should be renovated as soon as possible with the people's voice being represented by you, a body of 7. Any one of you can move the motion forward and bring this dormant project, which will include a multi-purpose building, walking trail, and fitness stations with the same dimensions as brought forward to the community in 2021. I look to you and thank you for the respect and dignity you show to the office you serve and the people you hear, represent, and respond to during these proceedings, this evening and moving forward. I know who I am and whose I am, and therefore I must, as I expect from you, put forth a concerted effort to present myself, use words, and display body language which is not disrespectful to the listening audience, observers, not detrimental, or attempts to degrade the psyche of other human beings or the office you serve. Staying focused on the goal and not allowing the reach to become personal and lose sight of the purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cunningham. Hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Good evening, Council. Reed Hughes, 3335 Northwest 180th Street, Miami
Excuse me
Gardens.
for a second, Ms. Hughes. Mr. Alvin Jackson, you're next. Go ahead, Ms. Hughes.
Reed Hughes, 3335 Northwest 180th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. During city council meetings, when the majority of city staff are in the room and are still on the clock, why can't the public get answers in present time and responses requested in the public during the city council meetings where it is being originated? They should also apply when council asks residents to step outside to speak with city staff and when council instructs, directs, or assigns a task to city staff to report back. This being a public setting, and as such, the public has a right to know the results and or findings from residents and from council. All information provided should be placed on public record during city council meetings the same night, and if not the same night, then at the next council meeting. There should be a follow-up item placed on the agenda which allows city staff to address previous concerns of residents and previous requests by council. This way, results and/or other findings are on public record and should be recorded in the minutes. Thank you. Transparency matters.
Thank you, Ms. Hughes. Alvin Jackson.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to address the mayor and everyone that's here, all the councilmen and councilwomen. I want to speak about an event that I'm doing. I'm right here in the beautiful city of Miami Gardens. It's about an issue that's dear to my heart, autism. I'm doing a music festival called A Stone Music for Autism. And we're going to be doing it right here at the Stadium Hotel on April 25th from 7 to 9. And we just want to let everybody know, inform everybody of what we're doing. And if you are available, we would love for you to come and support us. And if you want to, you can reach me at my website, astonemusictherapy.com, a-musictherapy.com. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Rowe, hold on until we get to that resolution. Francis Ragu. Ms. Cross, you're next. Thank you. After Mr. Ziegler, it'll be Donna Rose. Yeah, come on, Ms. Cross.
Yes. Good evening, all the mayor, vice mayor, and all the council, and to everyone, all the police, everyone in the audience. My name is Marjorie Allen Cross. I live at 1425 Northwest, 193rd Terrace, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33169. Today, what I would like to speak about is it's a lot of different things that a lot of different people come up with different complaints, about around my area, but a lot of time about the speeding. I always invite my neighbors. I'm the most active one on my block. I always invite them to the meetings, but a lot of them just don't show up. But at least I let them know. And one thing that is of concern to me, anyone who remember me years ago, on the water, the North Miami Beach water, where there's a pole there. I spoke about it before in the meeting. And now they're building one close to my house, the water plant, the renovation, and I'm just concerned that they don't put that pole over there. So every night I pass, I'm looking to make sure the pole is not there. So I don't know who I speak to about that. I've been to them before to speak about it, because, you know, we all know what it could cost. But also, I would like to say my deepest sympathy to Chief in the loss of her mom, because we had a meeting today with, and congratulations to Sergeant Joseph, who is now Captain Joseph. She and Sergeant Frazier was my teacher. I graduated last year from the Citizen Police Academy. They were my teacher there. You know, so I just want to say congratulations to her, to Captain Joseph. And also, I thank you for allowing me to speak, and I'm looking forward. I wish everyone are happy. Well, all those who I didn't tell, I wish you all the best for the new year, and I wish you all a happy Valentine's. May God bless you all, and just keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cross.
John Ziegler, 18501 Northwest 22nd Court. First of all, I'd like to say that working together with her. And but in this particular situation, there's an 83-year-old couple, and they've been going around in circles about the shutters. And I've been explaining that under, I forget what ordinance it is for the city of Miami Gardens. But from my review, the city of Miami Gardens does not have a storm shutter ordinance. And the code enforcement cannot impose a fine on someone where the ordinance does not apply. Now, in North Miami, Florida requires storm shutters and plywood to be removed 72 hours after the storm passes. And the section is 5-9 in their ordinance. The city of Miami Gardens does not have that. You cannot read into an ordinance, a law, or anything of that nature. I was a federal safety investigator for many years for the federal government, and I know how to read and interpret these items. You know, so therefore, you know, I would like for the city attorney to really look at the ordinance as it pertains to that, so that these people can get a clear understanding that when they go out and they find people, that they know what they're talking about. You know, because you can't just impose something because it says windows and down you say, hey, oh, no, it also means shutters. It doesn't. The law has to be specific in what they're talking about. So hopefully the city attorney can straighten that out. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Ziegler. Donna Rose.
Good evening, everyone, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and everyone in the room. My name is Donna Rose. My address is 18940 Northwest 11th Avenue, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33169. I've lived in the city of Miami Gardens from the 80s. I graduated from Norland High School. My son graduated from Norland. He teaches now at Norland Middle. My grandson is graduating from Norland, and the generation goes on and on. Since then, my husband and I, in the back, we've established a business. And we work hard in serving the customers, keeping a very good reputation, and just doing the best that we've earned a 5-star Google review all across the board. The issue that we're having as a business is I've applied for a few events. I've not done business in the city of Miami Gardens for over 1.5 years. And I'm concerned about that because if I don't do business in the city that I live, how can I pay my taxes? How could I survive? How could I do? I have to, unfortunately, go outside different cities and municipalities who recognizes us and have us work with them. And I'm sad about that, right? And so Jazz in the Garden I applied for was denied. I emailed them to ask them, could you explain to me why? Because if there's something that I'm doing in my business that's incorrect, let me know so I could fix it. Local events that goes on in the city, we don't get that opportunity. We get denied. We've already chosen other juicers. And I'm not saying that there are other people that does juices may not qualify, but we're the only one that do juices the way that we do, hands down. So I came in here tonight to see who I can speak to help us to get where we need to go, and so we can grow our business even more. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more written any more communication, any more yellow forms? None? Show public comments are now closed.
Report to the mayor and city council.
Thank you, Mayor. As I begin my closing remarks, it's been a really, really heavy week for a lot of us here at the city. So I would like for us to all take a moment of silence for the 5 lives that were lost over the weekend in that horrific car accident. And also for our chief of police, Delma Noel Pratt, who lost her mother. And recently today, one of our employees, James Pogue, who lost his father. So if you guys would just bow your heads in a moment of silence. Thank you. You know, it really, 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 I know that it's hit everybody really hard with the lives that were lost over the weekend. We didn't lose one life, we lost a whole family. And when these things unfold, I sit back and I think about myself and my colleagues in this administration when we put mechanisms in place, such as red light cameras, and people complain about that, saying that we're trying to make money, and that's not what it is. We're trying to prevent incidents that took place like it did over the weekend. We didn't lose one life, we lost 5 because of reckless driving. We put ordinances like this in place in school zones so that we can reinforce the law that is already in place that says you have to do 15 miles per hour when the lights are blinking yellow, yet people still have a problem with this because we're trying to save lives. My message to everyone is clear: slow down, and stop thinking that your city government, your county government is out to get you. We're creating these laws so that we can save your life and the life of your children and the life of your grandchildren. So the next time you come across a red light camera and you want to complain about that, I want you to think about the 5 lives that were lost from somebody who was doing 99 miles in a residential area, okay? I have a couple of events that are coming up, and I'd like to bring them to your attention. The first one is we are having our 4th annual Miami Gardens Youth Music Festival that is taking place on March the 1st from 2 to 6. This is an opportunity for you all to come out and support our students who attend schools within this area, Norland Middle, Norland High, Andover. These kids are culturally talented in the fine art space, and so they will be performing the trumpet, the piano. I mean, it's gonna be lots of fun, and so I encourage you all to come out and support our youth as they put their talents on display. It is a free event, and it is open to everyone, so bring your kids, bring your families, and bring your lawn chairs. Our photo-enforced school zone ordinance is out. Right now, we are currently in the phase where we are, what's the word, Chief Nargiso? We're doing the test, the warnings. So some of you may have gotten warnings in the mail, and so by state statute, by law, we are required to provide you with a warning. So this means that if you're driving through the school zone and you're speeding, you got a warning. There's no fee attached to it just yet, but it is a warning. Again, this is a mechanism for us to save lives. No one should be nervous having to cross the street or having to walk to school or having to drive on the road. Slow down. So we've put this out there. It's gone out on Channel 77. We have mailed these mailers out. We've put them out at every single park. We have them here at the City Hall. We've gone around to various town halls with my colleagues, and we've talked about it, and so the information is out there. So if you all want to grab a copy and maybe give them out at your neighborhood watch or give them out to your neighbors or put them out in some businesses, we have a couple here for you. So please feel free to grab some, okay? And then I have a public service announcement for any individual that has a disability. So the Special Transportation Services is a public transportation service offered by Miami-Dade County, and it's in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. And what they do is they offer door-to-door transportation services. They operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and the cost is only $3.50 per trip, and some insurance companies will cover the cost. And so what we have here, my office has compiled an application for you. So if you suffer with a disability or you know anyone that has a disability, pick up this packet. It is super, super easy. I've been able to help some residents through the process. You send it to your doctor's office. They will approve it, send it back to the county, and you will basically be able to get door-to-door service for $3.50. Okay, so utilize the stuff that is provided to you by your local governments. And then on tomorrow, my office is hosting our small business listening session. The last 4 years, I've had the great opportunity to meet a lot of business owners and to patronize their businesses. And so we've provided grants up to $10,000 to over 40 businesses. We've provided grant writing courses. We've provided opportunities through MDEED. And we've strategically paired Miami Gardens businesses with vendor opportunities here within the city and outside of the city. And so what now? So now I want to hear from you all, the business owners. Tomorrow is a listening session. I want to know what's working, what's not working. What do you need help with? What are we doing right? What can we improve on? We have Marlon Hill, who is a business attorney, who will be there to answer any question that you may have as it pertains to your business and business filings. We have Joyce Sinclair, who's a social media strategist, and she'll give you some tips on how to get more followers and how to put content together. And then we have Enoch Sinclair, who is a business accountant. So he will provide you with information on filing deadlines and the things that you need to do to make sure that your business is in compliance with state law. And then we have our Black History Essay Contest. Please get your applications in. All students, please make sure that they get their applications in by February 28th. This year's topic is the labor movement, so students are asked to write about an African-American person who inspires them, that has made great contributions to the labor movement. February 28th is the deadline. And as I conclude, I would love for you all to please join me in wishing our Miami Gardens resident, Mr. John Ziegler, a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. Ziegler.
This concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Baskin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First and foremost, my condolences to city employees, Chief Pratt, as well as Dr. Pohl. Also to the family, can't even talk about it. I'm sorry.
I'll come back to you.
Please.
I too would like to express my condolences to the families that have experienced the loss of a loved one. I know how difficult that is when you have to walk behind people you love and have to lay them to rest. But more importantly, when it comes as a shock, it's even harder. And so I think that I was talking to someone the other day, and what I realized about our community, and maybe even the success that we've had, is because we are a praying community. We have some of the best spiritual leaders in the state of Florida and probably in this country. And so much of what we do is moved by our spirits. And if there is nothing that could bring us together, it is under the banner of God. And so if there is ever a time that we should pray together, it is at a time like this, where we could bind in our hearts and in our spirits to ask God to cover the heart of that mother, to cover the heart of the fathers and the family members. And if the Lord should lead you to do it, find a way to make a donation, because burying 8 people ain't easy. So my condolences to them, and I would ask that each and every one of us in some way would say a prayer and express our condolences to them as well. So we had our Meet Me Monday this past Monday at Carroll City at 6 p.m. And it was absolutely wonderful. We had great conversation, and we had our residents' concerns and updates and stuff like that. We have upcoming the Voices of Freedom talent audition for our fifth annual this year, Juneteenth celebration. Last year was an incredible year because so much of the talent was our community. We had our young girls and gentlemen dancing from our dance troupes. We've had Mr. A. Stone there, who led a rendition of Glory, almost better than the original artist. And we had our seniors who came out and they danced and did their line dancing, and it was, in fact, an incredible event. And I would urge any of you, if you have a talent, if you have a child that has a talent, that they should display and come out and audition for an opportunity to come to the stage. You know, one of the things that I love about Juneteenth is that it reminds us that when our ancestors were working in Galveston, Texas, no one told them that they had been freed. And when they found out, they did not leave Galveston. They started to build Galveston. They stayed in the place that they called home. And each of them, all of them slaves, but they brought something from their homes. And they gathered together and they ate food and they sang and they commemorated that day and that moment in time where freedom was more important than leaving. And so at this time in American history, we ought to really understand what freedom means to us as a community and how we must celebrate it and remember that our talents, that our food, that our love, and that our love for the Lord will be the reason why we will gather in Juneteenth for the fifth annual one, the largest one in the country, in the state of Florida, and one of the best as designated by Essence Magazine as one of the best in the country. So we urge you to come out. We urge you to bring your children. We urge you, if you have a talent, to come out and to share in this momentous occasion, because this year we will have a stellar year again. Okay, so it will be held February 28th at Betty T. Ferguson at 5 p.m. The next event is with Adrian Arts. We have been hosting in partnership with Adrian Arts inspirational gospel music for the last 3 to 5 years. We would take a busload of seniors down to Adrian Arts to celebrate gospel on Sundays. And so they have decided to modify the program and to come to the community. So that will take place on March 23rd on Sunday. You come out into the first 100 people. We will give you a food truck voucher and for food and a drink. You come out, bring your kids, bring your family, bring your just whomever, and just sit out for an afternoon of inspirational music at Betty T. Ferguson. And then the Meet Me Monday that we have for March 10th will be postponed, and we will see you April 14th as I will be away on a conference trip. And so I will say to you, thank you all for your continued support and for your prayers for this community and for the family. I thank you in advance for that. And may God bless you and keep you until April.
Thank you. Councilwoman Powell.
Thank you. Please be advised that we are still accepting nominations for the Residents' Choice Award. If you have not seen the flyer or has not looked online, please look it up as any business that you consider has excellent customer service, the appearance and the quality, as well as their product, and show community engagement. Nominate them For this award, it would be a $500 award with recognition in our quarterly, biannually newsletter, as well as an award here in the council. So please nominate your business. On Saturday, we held a biannual Shred Day and breakfast for seniors. It was an important day because we know that there has been quite a number of identity theft going on among seniors in particular. And I want to give thanks to Detective St. Louis, who presented an excellent presentation, and I thank the Miami Gardens Police Department for allowing him to come out to educate our seniors on identity theft. It was an excellent service for the community, and it was also an opportunity to bring items that people have been holding on and cluttering their life with that really needed to be discarded so that individuals will not steal identity. And just for the audience out there, it is tax season, and if you do have documents in your home, please cross your name out with a good Sharpie before you discard them, preferably have them shred. Our next Shred Day will be celebrating Grandparents' Day on September 6, 2025, once again at Bunch Park. And coming up on February 25th at 6 p.m. in Rolling Oats, we will have our Talk with the Doc. We're going to hold off on walking until we go back into daylight savings time, and it will be a community meetings, and we will have our administrative team to assist and ask questions, including police department, as well as our coding enforcement and community engagement. At this time, I do want to also offer my condolences. I know that we all share and grieve for our community, as we always do. But as a physician, I want to also say, because in addition, we also have been having a number over the years, deaths, unnecessary deaths from gun violence. And we don't want to keep adding to the deaths from speeding, violence by guns, abuse. And so I'm encouraging everyone, and this is my health tip. For grief, please see a grief counselor if you're in that place. And for pain and anger, please don't be too proud to seek out professional help for anger and pain. We don't want to grieve anymore as a community. Thank you.
Councilman Leon.
Good evening. I want to take an opportunity to thank our victims advocates, right? It's something that we have in place and that sometimes we take for granted. But those ladies were able to assist those families, the young ladies, with benefits that, sometimes we don't want to use, but we have these things in place within our city, and they go above and beyond to help people in these traumatic moments in their life that they're going through. And I just, like I said, I want to take an opportunity to thank them for the services that they provide to this community. Also, on February 18th, we have one of our residents, Miss Vera Knight, who will be turning 100 years old. So she's requested that me and the mayor come back out there and cut her yard again. So,
What? Cut her
remember
yard?
we cut her yard last
We'll
time.
do it again. We'll do it again.
So that was what she requested for her 100th birthday. So we will be there on February 18th, and council members, you're more than welcome to join us. And it just shows the heart of Miami Gardens that 100 years old, and she's requesting her councilman and mayor to come out and cut her yard, and we'll definitely be there. Also, March 5th, the Universal Circus is here, and they have given us about 250 tickets for the community, and we're going to take a bus load of our seniors. We're taking about 60 seniors. We're going to take some high school kids that made the honor roll from Carroll City, some that made the honor roll from Miami Norland, and a couple kids from some of our daycares. These tickets are this is their community day, and this is for families that don't have an opportunity to afford to be able to go out to the circus. So they will provide them with a meal, a circus meal, drinks, and they get to see the show for free. The circus is also having a Miami Gardens night. What's the date? March 1st is the official Miami Gardens night, which you're inviting the entire city out. City council members will receive tickets and become ringmasters for that night in lieu of the Universal Circus. So that ends my report. Thank you.
Thank you. We will be there to cut her yard for sure. Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I'll be there. I'm going to bring a cake. Good afternoon. Good evening, everyone. I want to, all of my colleagues have so eloquently mentioned, and I just want to add on my thoughts and prayers to our city employees as well as the family members that have lost their loved ones. In improving our public safety and making sure that we're doing the right things as it relates to your local government is what we do on a daily basis. And I have to take this time to commend Councilwoman Julian again for leading the effort to making our streets safer with the camera system in our school districts. So thank you for that. I want to remind each of you about the Miami Gardens Fitness Challenge that's still going on. Classes are held at the Betty T. Ferguson Recreational Complex Monday through Thursday and on Saturday. You can find the calendar of fitness classes online, or you can visit the center to get a hard copy. It's not too late to get started, so please make sure you take advantage of the free courses that we have provided for you all. I am happy to announce that the Miami Gardens Dream Scholarship Program is now open to eligible residents of the city of Miami Gardens. Applications are due by Friday, April 18th. For more information, please send an email at scholarship@miamigardens-fl.gov. This is a great opportunity to provide financial assistance as you matriculate, as our high school seniors matriculate to post-secondary education. And on February 1st, I partnered with State Representative Felicia Robinson to host a pop-up DMV event at the Buccaneer Park. Many residents were able to get driver's license services done at our community center, and we will continue this series to provide some relief for those who would need services from our DMV. We know that booking the appointment books are so far out, so we're trying to bring rapid services to you all. And my next table talk in office hours for the month of March has been canceled due to our Jazz and Gardens Music Festival coming up. So I would see you all at Starbucks on April, the first Tuesday in April. And my office hours will start back then as well, open office hours. I want to encourage everyone that is available to attend the Miami Gardens Day on the Hill.
Hold on, Robert. Can we put our phones on vibrate, please? Thank you.
I want to encourage everyone that is able to attend the Miami Gardens Day on the Hill to register. This would take place on Thursday, April 10th. We'll travel up to Tallahassee, meet with some state legislators to discuss some priorities and department heads, and we'll come right back down as well. All you have to do is get on the bus, and we're going to do the rest. So you can go online and register for this day trip. It's free. You just go on and secure your seat. The registration is now open. And I believe that ends my report, Mr. Mayor. And I think Ms. Cross said it, and I'll say it again. Happy Love Day on Friday for those of you that are in love.
I pray that's everybody. I don't have a report. Just to, I'm gonna go back to. I'm coming back to you.
Okay.
I really don't have a report. You know, all of our hearts are heavy. It's been a tough week for all of us. Driving while under the influence, driving drunk, speeding, can cause death. Nothing else to say. Bullets as well.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yesterday, I held my monthly community collaboration meeting, which was a great success. I want to thank department heads from Public Works, Code Enforcement, the Police Department, and Department of Civic Engagement for coming out last night, answering questions, and providing updates to the residents' questions that were asked at our previous monthly meetings. That's the value in those meetings, and that's what I appreciate the most, is the actual follow-up. Those meetings hold all of us accountable, council member, department heads, because the questions that the residents ask, we're able to now come to the meetings and they're looking for answers. They're looking for pictures, they're looking for updates, and we're able to provide those answers and updates to the residents. So to all the department heads that come faithfully, and to Assistant City Manager Tamara Watley, who came out yesterday, thank you as well. Also, on Saturday, I will be partnering with Miami-Dade County's program Strive 305, which is a small business program they have to help owners of small businesses. Each month, they're hosting different events in local municipalities. They're going from city to city, focusing on mostly, like I said, on small businesses. This month's theme is the power of networking. So if you own a small business in Miami Gardens, or you have dreams or aspirations to own a business, this will be a good opportunity for you to come out, network with other business owners, talk with panelists about how you can get your business started, give you strategies on how to network. As a small business owner myself, I often tell people I'm not a talker. I don't like to talk, but I am a worker. I'm a workaholic. I like to get things done. However, in my own business, I've learned that networking changes things. It helps you to grow your business, grow your network. So come on out on Saturday. It will be at 10 a.m. till 12 p.m. right at the Senior Center. And then on February 21st, which is next week Friday, I will be hosting I want to call it my biggest event, which is called Broadway in the Gardens. It's part of my Save the Arts initiative. As you all have heard me talk about meeting after meeting about the $32 million budget cut that has been affecting our performing arts industry. I wanted to bring awareness to this, also to give our local residents an opportunity to display their talent, as well as to help these local organizations find funding so that their organizations are not affected tremendously, and that they'll be able to still provide services to our community. It will be a 2-day event. On Thursday, February 20th, we will have what I'm calling an experiential learning day, which students that participate in magnet programs throughout Miami-Dade County, whether it's dance, theater, singing, and art, they'll be able to come out on Thursday, February 20th, right at Florida Memorial University, to have master classes by professional artists in the industry. They can learn about how to do their applications for college, learn about what colleges have special programs that they should apply to, also to the master classes, college information, as well as learning different techniques in their field. This is a free event for students in Miami-Dade County Public Schools that participate in magnet programs. And then on Friday, which is the big event, Broadway in the Gardens, it is a display of the Black experience. It's taking place during Black History Month. Somebody asked, what is the city doing for Black history? Well, this is one event that the city was doing for Black history, highlighting the Black experience, from our joys, our triumphs, the resiliency of Black people, the everything great, okay? But we have to continue to tell our history. If we don't tell our history, nobody will. If we don't give our children an opportunity to see and to hear about our history, and to let them know that we are overcomers and you can do whatever you put your mind to, nobody will. So this will be a great display of the Black experience through art. I want to encourage you all to come out. We have a seniors discount. Tickets are available on Eventbrite. I suggest the easiest way to purchase a ticket is to go on Eventbrite, type in Broadway in the Gardens, and you will find where to purchase tickets. That concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. There are no ordinances on for first reading. There's no ordinance on for second reading. We're on resolutions.
All right, resolutions, public hearing, item 11.1, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the renaming of Northwest 23rd Avenue between Northwest 155 Terrace to Northwest 158th Street as Joanna E. Cox Road Boulevard. Authorize the city manager to change the street signage, providing for adoption of representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Vice Mayor Robert Stevens III.
Vice Mayor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to ask for my colleagues' support for the renaming of this street. Miss Joanne Cox Roll was a advocate for our community. She fought tireless to ensure that individuals received their voices was heard prior to the city becoming incorporated, prior to the city existing to this day. Ms. Cox fought with developers and advocated strongly on behalf of not just her family, but the individuals as far as neighbors and the community as a whole. So I think it's necessary. On February 7th, Ms. Cox would have turned 100 years old. I know her daughter has been fighting and advocating to get this, to make this happen. So I want to go ahead and ask my colleagues for their support as we move forward to renaming this street.
All right, it's public comment on this item. Ms. Taylor, you wanted to speak on this item?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
So I have a comment on this item as well. Do we wait for after the public comment, or can I speak on it before Ms.
You can
Roll
speak on
comes
it
up?
now. Go ahead. You can
Okay, and so Vice Mayor, I would love to co-sponsor this item with you. Ms. Roll, I know that this is your pride and joy, and from the very first moment that I met you 4 years ago, you gave me a tour of the area that you lived in and grew up in, and told us stories about your mom and how she used to sit on the porch and watch over the kids, and she fought for speed bumps and she fought for equity and equality. And so I'd like to co-sponsor this item, and we're just very delighted to do this in honor of your mother. And she raised an amazing daughter.
Yeah. I think I'm
Well,
gonna.
before we do this,
Okay.
let's make a motion on this item.
Motion.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Now it's open for discussion.
Yeah, I think I'd like to join in too.
Go
You
right
know,
ahead.
you are the best.
Yeah.
And I love the work that you do for this community through the Women's Commission. And generally, that means that you had a good mother that was a good example for what you ought to be doing. And so I am so proud to be able to co-sponsor this with you. And I thank you, Vice Mayor, for your leadership in getting this done. Way to go.
Same.
Say something too?
I second.
Co-sponsor.
Want to co-sponsor this
Yes,
too?
sir.
All right, just show everybody as co-sponsors of the item.
Duly noted, Mayor.
Yeah, everybody. Ms. Rowe, you still want to speak?
Just briefly, good evening. Honorable Mayor Harris, Honorable Vice Mayor Stevens, and council members. Mr. City Manager Benson, Madam Attorney Dickens, Mr. City Clerk Atali, and each of your respectful places. Thank you for this opportunity. This is my sister, by the way, Shirley Rowe Watson. I had a speech, but you know the story, and we appreciate your support. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilwoman Baskin.
Yes.
Councilman Leon.
Yes.
Councilwoman Powell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Wilson. Councilwoman Julian.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stevens.
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
Oh, yes.
Motion passes 7-0. We're now on to the consent agenda.
We're taking the consent agenda in its entirety. I need a
Motion. Second.
moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none, show the consent agenda passes.
All right, now we're on to resolutions, item 13, item 13.1, discussion item sponsored by Councilwoman Wilson.
Yes, sir. One of the concerns I'd like to bring up for discussion is that we are entering into probably the busiest time of the year for our city. And, just getting ready for Jazz in the Gardens and different things. And I'm always concerned, number one, about the appearance of our city. Because once we have the events and we wake up the next day, we're always, I'm always concerned about 1, safety, 2, cleaning, and 3, staff. And so the question that I'd like to ask our city manager is, and have for a moment of discussion, is whether or not we are going to have the adequate staffing necessary to support the myriad of events that will take place in the next 3 to 7 months, from March, April, May, June, and July, and probably through August. And I say that because I know our Parks and Recreation departments are robust, and they are very, 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 very busy. And we just are, even though many of our parks are, some are offline and some are online, we have a lot of things that are going to take place. And so I just want to make sure that that we are putting the staff in place to support what Parks and Recreation needs in terms of their summer staff, in terms of continuing to be able to, especially our Public Works Department, to continue to be able to move in the progressive way that I've seen them move. I just want to make sure that given all of these other responsibilities, that we have a primary staff and a secondary staff that can continue with the good work, I'm going to say, that they are doing out there, and that this city is able to maintain and continue to progress with the aesthetics, because I'm a very, very big proponent of cleaning things up. And again, hats off to Ms. Paulette and the Public Works Department for your efforts, because they truly, truly, truly are seen. And notice the Code Enforcement Office, for many of the lights that are now lighting up some of our strip malls, they really are doing an incredible job. But I know that this is the season, okay? So.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Manager?
Just the answer to that question is yes. And for all the reasons that you mentioned, especially with the leadership of Ms. Paulette Murphy, I believe we'll be ready to do and be able to handle everything that comes our way. If there's a need for us to get any additional services or help for those types of activities, we'll be more than happy to do that. But under her leadership, I'm not concerned about any of those things because of the way she has now directed staff to work and how to work in the different scenarios that we have in front of us. She's been able to handle those things. So moving forward, I don't have any issues or any concerns about that.
Okay. I'd also like to make a suggestion as well. Maybe we can move into our high schools for some of the summer jobs and different things like that, especially a part of the clean team that we've talked about, so that we can ready for the summer things that'll be happening as well. Okay. Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Manager.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I just want to add just a point of an idea, because I believe the councilwoman, and thank you for raising that to our attention, because we are entering into a very busy season. In fact, I looked at my calendar and started gasping for air over the next few months. But I will like to say that in the event, Mr. Manager, that we have to go out and hire additional staff or have to temporarily hire staff to accommodate the needs, that we explore something like a mass job fair for city openings, city positions. I'm sure our human resources director and her team has already have that ideal or something of that nature, but I would just want to throw that out there to attract individuals. And I know we're working on a few projects with our agreements with the local universities and colleges to attract individuals to those positions. But I just wanted to throw out that maybe we can put that on the radar.
What you mean? Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Sure. As it relates to, so the manager spoke on, Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, can I be? The manager spoke on having teams in place, having the staff in place. So I said in the event that we need to go and secure more staff, I'm suggesting that we do a mass job fair of the openings that we have to be able to accommodate, so that we can attract individuals to accommodate the demands of the city over the next few months and, even potentially year of the work that is being requested of our staff.
Have we ever had a job fair?
I'm not.
Have we ever had a job fair?
Yes, and we
We have?
participated in other job fairs as well.
Okay, when have we had one? I don't remember one.
I don't know
We
the
have 'em
dates, but
annually?
I don't know the dates, but I know we've had.
Oh, okay, we have them annually though?
Not annually, but we've had them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will we have one this year?
A job fair?
Yeah, because I guess what I'm saying is, like, one of the concerns that I know I have sometimes is, like, how do we get the kids in from the city to work in the city? How do they know about the jobs? Because I know when people ask me, I said, well, just go online and fill out something. And they said, well, I did, but nobody called me. And then they said, I said, what did you fill out for, And so I'm just saying that, like, I know when Metro Dade comes here and they have a job fair, they generally have hiring on the spot, or they have a way that people could go right into the system and be able to fill it out. And then they have like hot ticket, You understand what I'm trying to get at, right? I'm trying to say is that if we know that we're going to have a tough time, possibly, being able to recruit, why not have a job fair for local residents? Everybody quiet. Job fair for local residents, high school students, maybe for some of the summer jobs. And
That's going to be based on the need, right?
yeah.
And Mr. Mayor, if I may, and to your point, Councilwoman Wilson, and I know, Mr. Manager, you're probably like, because you're saying that we've had job fairs, but I can attest to some of the job fairs that we've had, because I know our workforce readiness program, we hold job fairs, and as a matter of fact, some of the students in our workforce readiness program, our RAP program, who live in Miami Gardens, are actually working for the city. Some of them are working with Ms. Paulette under Parks. We've gotten some in the police department through the job fairs that the city manager's office, Melissa Negrone, has done with RAP. So that's one that I can attest to for sure.
And Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Mr. Manager.
Just keep in mind that we'll be hiring part-time summer employment soon in our Parks and Recreation Department.
Yeah.
And so we'll be gearing up for a number of those activities over the summer. Also, I know that Paulette is also looking at the opportunities in Public Works and maybe some part-time help with those things. So, I mean, we're ready to gear up. We actually met today and talked about some of these issues. So
Okay, all right.
I'm ready to move forward when we're ready to move forward.
Okay. Well, will you keep me in the loop on that?
Sure.
Sir? I'd like to, okay?
Sure.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Councilman?
Through the mayor to the manager, maybe as what you guys did when it came to the surveys that we had to implement and get the city involved, where you came out to different council members' meetings and task different council members with particular bodies of people. Some of the larger events that we have, maybe you can have someone there actually accepting applications on site. I know, for instance, like we have karaoke in the gardens, we have 18,000 people, where you can have someone there. Actually, everyone isn't online, everyone isn't on social media, but that's an opportunity that we can use that for ourselves, even at Jazz in the Gardens. I know we have the 10 up saying this is where I want to be, but we can also use that as a recruitment opportunity. We don't have to go out and reinvent the wheel. We can just tap into some of the things that we have going on already.
Okay.
Showing we're on reports of the
Charter officers.
charter officers. You got something else? Go ahead, bro.
I just have one more thing, not about the discussion item before we go on to our reports. I forgot to mention it in our reports, but our city manager and city attorney celebrated their birthday last week.
Yeah, happy
and I
birthday.
wanted to make sure we wish, I won't say the ages, but a happy, happy birthday.
Thank you.
About your dashiki? Oh, okay. Nice dashiki there, bro. All right.
I encourage all my colleagues, in lieu of Black History Month, that we wear some African attire next meeting. Thank you.
And also, Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry. If you are attending, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
If you are attending Broadway in the Gardens, I'm asking for you to also wear your African attire. That's all.
We're going to start reports all over again.
So,
Go ahead.
sorry to keep everyone, but I think this is important for anyone who take advantage of farm shares. Along with our state representative, Aristide, there will be a farm share in Miami Gardens at 16969 Northwest 23rd Avenue this Saturday from 10 to 1 p.m. So please share that information, farm share. There's always wonderful things and, most important, healthy things to pick up at these fairs. So please check it out from 10 to 1. Again, 16969 Northwest 23rd. All right, see you there.
All right. Well, I got something else I need to say then. Everybody. No, seriously, that we had a lawsuit that was settled with North Miami Beach Water and Sewer, with the water department. You guys need to go online. All of those residents who are who use North Miami Beach's water, go online to our website. There's a form that you have to fill out to file a claim, and you need to get that done as soon as possible. We need to get all those things done as soon as possible. So go on our webpage, look for the water, North Miami Beach water settlement, and fill out that application and get it back in right away.
One other thing, Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I would like to take this opportunity to recognize my neighbors, Mr. Carol and Lonnie Lawrence, who's celebrating 38 years.
38
being married.
years. What?
38
No,
years.
not 80. No. Congratulations. Congratulations.
And also, let's just make sure that we continue to lift our neighbors up in prayer. Today was a very concerning day for me to actually see ICE on my block raiding families. So it has literally hit home in Miami Gardens now. And let's continue to keep our country in prayer.
Most definitely. Definitely.
Mr. Manager?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, council members, just a couple things. I want to echo the comments regarding Chief Pratt and Dr. Pogue's families. Certainly we'll keep them in prayer. Certainly the accident that happened is something that we all should be aware of. And certainly as we go through our day-to-day business, we should keep in mind that we have to be safe. And Councilwoman Julian, to you and to your comment, I just want to let you know something. We open up Red Speed on a warning basis right now. And since the day we opened up, we've had 10,000 warnings to date.
10.
So that just tells you that sooner or later, those warnings are going to be tickets. And people need to be aware of the fact that we are going to enforce those tickets. So don't send us emails. Don't send the council members after the manager to get the ticket taken away or anything like that. We are going to enforce. And I want to be clear about that. I want to be clear about the fact that I am not going to give you a second chance. It's not going to happen. So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. 10,000 warnings. Soon to
Zero
be
tolerance.
tickets. Zero tolerance.
Zero tolerance for speeding. You speed, you're gonna get ticketed. Zero tolerance, and we stand by that. Thank you, Mr. Manager.
Thank you. And Councilwoman Baskin, can you tell me again the dates for the Broadway and the Gardens?
Broadway in the Gardens, the show is Friday, February 21st at 7 o'clock p.m.
Where is it located again?
at the Lou Ross Performing Arts Center at Florida Memorial University, the only HBCU in South Florida, which happens to be in the largest black city in South Florida, Miami Gardens.
Talk.
And that's it for me, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Attorney,
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Clerk.
No report.
That being said, I need a motion to adjourn this meeting. Been moved and seconded. Meeting adjourned.
Hey, KB.